If you tie a string around it, it's great too. Good evening, everybody. Hi, my name is Christian. I'm with Undique, and that's our weekly news from the Quail farm. Thanks for tuning in. Usually I'm online on a Friday, but I will explain you later why I couldn't make it this Friday. You might see a little sunburn. That's part of it, but let's get started. I have my chief tweet tester, Hazel, as you can see her here on the picture as well, with me. And she is hungry. And so let's see if she wants to test some of our product and show you guys what we bring to the table. So, Hazel, my dog, she is lovely and she's 3 years old and she approves of every product we make here on the Quail farm. So let's get started. We have dedicated a product for her, which we call the Quail Crunch Bites. And there is actually Hazel's picture in a kind of a comic version on it. And let's see if Hazel likes these Crunch Bites and demonstrate for your dog or cat. Cats like them too. They're crunchy. They're good. Would like them too. So let's have a look. Hazel, can you come and help me here, please? I switch over to the Hazel cam, so don't worry about the floor here. Here is my assistant. Hazel, would you approve of this message when I say that your Crunch Bites are the best Crunch Bites in the world? Let's give it a try, I would say, right? Give paw. Good girl. So what is in this Crunch Bites, right? It's 100% premium quail meat from our farms here in the US. Undique is a network of quail farms. And Hazel, the picture's a year old, so she grew up a little bit in the meantime, right, baby? Yes, you did. We don't see your face well, so let me adjust the Hazel cam here just a little bit. Here we go. Now you see the green screen here in the back and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's our studio setup, right, Hazel? Hazel approves of the Crunch Bites. So what is it? We actually mix also some eggshell in there. Yucky paw. Good girl. So, could you hear the crunch? That's why I paused. Let's do that again, Hazel, huh? We want to show the people why they are called Crunch Bites. Yes, I hope you hear it well. Because they have a super crunch. So, what is in there? As I said, 100% premium quail meat. Quail is like a little smaller bird than a chicken, right? I'm gonna explain you today more about quail, so hang around, right, Hazel? Yes, we're gonna show all your products. Yes. One more bite of this one, and then we move on to the crunch sticks, right? They look a little bit like a stick too. But so we use the premium quail meat, and then we sprinkle, I hold it here to the camera a bit more, then we sprinkle also some cleaned eggshells in there. There's not the actual full egg in there, but the eggshells. And that gives it an extra crunch and an extra portion of calcium for your dog. Right? So that's a really cool product made and laid in the USA. So Hazel, she disappeared because she was like, huh, do I get more or not? Of course you get more. We have to show the people your product. Okay, so let's move on. So this is a product, just going back to the Crunch Bites, for dogs who have properties, right? If you have an older animal at home, I'm gonna show you a different product that was inspired by my sister-in-law, because I gave her some of the Crunch Bites, but her cats are pretty old, and therefore she said, I would like something softer for my cats. So we came up with the pet cotton candy. Why is it called cotton candy? Because it looks like cotton candy. Right? It's nice and fluffy, as you can see here. And it's the natural color, so there's no artificial coloring in there. It's a natural yellow. We do have one version where we used beetroots as well to color it kind of pink reddish, so then it really looks like cotton candy. But Hazel will confirm, I hope, right? Hazel, would you confirm that the cotton candy is good? So you can use it as a treat like I do right now for your older dog, cat or ferret if their teeth are not that great anymore. Or you can use it as a food topper and you just sprinkle it on the normal food of your pet, as you see I sprinkled a little on the floor here, and Hazel does not hesitate then to clean up. Hazel, I have here more for you. Yeah, show the people how good it is. Obviously, you know, when you feed your cat, dog, any animal, always make sure they have access to fresh water. Hazel has fresh water at her designated spot here in the office, right, Hazel? Yeah. So that's the cotton candy approved by Hazel, what we make here in the Undique farm network. And it's definitely, it lasts you if you use it as a food topper. It will last you really a long time. The only artificial about this product is the packaging. We want to keep it safe for you guys, right? But all it is dehydrated quail meat, premium quail meat, which was produced here in the US by, we have currently 14 farms in our network, from New York State down to Jersey, where I am, down to Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, and so on, Missouri. That's where that stuff comes from. So all made or laid in the USA. And as you could see, Hazel loves it. As Hazel is an older dog, she's 3 years old, not really an older dog, but old enough, and we just went to the vet the other day, and she got the perfect health certificate. She had to do one rabies shot or something, and the doctor said she's not overweight, she has really healthy teeth, and I contribute the healthy teeth to, number one, my wife does brush Hazel's teeth with one of these dog toothbrushes there, and the crunch sticks, and a little bit the crunch bites too, because it's nice and crunchy. Nothing builds up on her teeth, and there she is, like on command. Hazel, would you talk a little bit more about your crunch bites? Let's show it to the customers. Let's sit first. Thank you, my dear. Give me paw. Hold on, hold 5. So it's quite a big piece, the crunch stick. It is actually from the spine of the quail, so it's a bone, but you can see it's the bones of a quail are pretty soft. You can easily break it apart, and then, yes, you have a nice crunch, right? And I give you another piece there. Yeah, if you turn around, Hazel, turn around. I have to teach her some tricks in the meantime too, because it's a special treat, right? Especially, you know, if you want to treat your dog and need a very motivating one, because Hazel, believe it or not, is not motivated by food. It might look different now. She's more motivated by touch and by encouragement. But when it comes to the quail treats, what we produce on the farm, yes, she gets very, very motivated by them, don't you? Yeah. Oh, good girl. So she definitely gets motivated by this kind of treat. So the crunch bites, they come also in a pack of 10 in a resealable bag, so you can easily, you know, just feed a little and then keep it for another day. It's great when your dog is in training, like Hazel is. Really, really motivates them. And I should display the right product here on the bottom as well on the stream. By the way, speaking of stream, so today I'm a little off in regards to the stream. As summer comes around, I want to do it every Friday, but this Friday I was too busy. We had a town-wide garage sale, and I had to prepare for that, sell some of the treats and some of the extra stuff we have we don't use anymore, right? I don't want to collect stuff, so it's always great to meet neighbors as well out there. And yep, I got the first sunburn of this season. I was not careful there, so that's why I was not online this Friday, but here I am on a Sunday. During the winter time, I'm online Fridays and Sundays, usually around 7:30 Eastern. But the best thing you can do is to hit the follow button and the notification button there, and then you see it pop up when I come live. But it's usually gonna be on Friday 7:30, or as an alternative date now during the summer. Yeah, this time, right now, right? So yeah, hit the notification, then you're gonna be informed when I'm here. Speaking of the crunch sticks, though, we have a bundle or a kit for people who want to train their dogs for hunting, for quail hunting. Quail are native birds to the US and many other regions in the world. And there's, for example, the Bob White quail or the Georgia giant quail, and there's many, many kinds of quails. I'm gonna speak in depth today about the Georgia giant quail. We get to that a little later. But with this kit, for example, what we bring to you is a nice kind of potpourri a little selection of what we got in regards to quail, where there is the famous wing in there as well. If you tie a string around it, it's great to play with your cat, with your puppy, with your dog. Real bird play. It's just a dehydrated quail wing. There's not much meat on it. It's kind of a safe toy to play with your cat or dog. You know, we hear all these horrific stories. Oh my god, my dog was chewing that plastic toy. What should I do? This is a natural product, right? It's feathers, a few little bones. In the worst case scenario, if your pup gets too excited there, it's nothing artificial to it, right? But it's a great training tool for the scent training of a dog. If you want to train a bird dog, as they call it as well, right? There's some crunch sticks in here as well in the pack. And then we have some dehydrated quail legs as well, which are extra crunchy. Really good. So that's, as I said, right now on offer. Sells pretty good. So grab yours now. Comes in a sturdy package, so nothing will break during shipping. And it's a great special treat play set, training set for you guys out there. I just spoke about the wing on the string, so I'm gonna show that as well. Let me see. We have over 100 products made from quail. So everything you see today is made or laid in the United States. I'm very proud about that. Even though I wasn't born here, I want to always support the local economy where I'm living. And I live now in here in New Jersey since over 10 years. I came from an IT background, came on a specialized visa and stuff like that. And then I decided to create my company and help US farmers to sell their products online. And I'm a quail farmer myself. I'm gonna show you in the weekly news now soon what happened on my quail farm today. And we are a network, and I'm gonna show a little bit about the network as well. But the wing on the string, cool thing. So we tie the string for you, a natural kind of string on the wing. Great for bird play. If you click on the product below, you're gonna see a video there which one of our customers made. There's another video my daughter made. She had the idea to it. She has cats. And she said, Daddy, what do you do with these wings? And I said, I have no idea what I do with these wings because there's no meat on them. Most people feed them to their pigs or throw them out. And I was like, it would be a shame not to use every part of that gorgeous bird, the quail. So we just dehydrate it with hot air. So, and that's it. We put the string around it, package it nice for you guys. It's great for your cat, for your dog. A super little natural toy and made in the USA, right? A good stuff. Now, as a quail farm, guess what? We ship a lot of quail eggs. But what do we do if we don't ship the quail eggs? Speaking of shipping quail eggs, so this year so far, I have here a little counter. We shipped over 45,000 quail eggs, and the hatching season is in full swing. So you get hatching eggs from us. Of course, you get fresh quail eggs. Hazel is a big fan of fresh quail eggs. I cut one open. You find that in our store as well, by the way. Quail egg scissors. Sorry, the color is normally green. It's the green screen as you could see on the Hazel cam, right? If I switch over quickly. Hazel, where are you, by the way? Hazel, I still need you. Can you come back? Yeah, so normally I cut here one open and Hazel gets it. But what we do, Hazel, when we go camping, what we do if it's too hot out there to ship eggs, we have a solution. So, since we never ship out quail eggs which are older than 72 hours for fresh eggs, or older than 48 hours for hatching eggs, that you have plenty of time to hatch them at home and that they are viable and all that good stuff, we use on our farms then the excess quail eggs for a food topper. And this is where Hazel comes in. So I let her just lick a little bit, right? Want to lick a bit from my hand here? This is the egg food topper. So in a little shaker like this, we bring to you a whole dozen of freeze-dried quail eggs. Again, this is made in the USA. As you can see, Hazel likes it. She would not eat her food anymore without it, either a fresh egg or the food topper, right? So the only artificial about that thing is, again, the shaker. We use plastic here that it doesn't break in shipping. And you have then the option. Here's kind of the bigger part. And then here's the smaller part. You sprinkle a little bit on the normal food of your pet, and you get all the nutrition which is in the quail eggs, and I get to that in a minute. It's all preserved in the shaker here. As you could see, Hazel really likes that, right? And that's the part, Hazel, where I usually say go to mommy because it's dinner time now for you, right? And I keep talking here a little bit more to the people. But yeah, that's the shaker. Get it in our store. It's for dogs, for cats, for ferrets. They all love it. It's an entire carton of those lovely quail eggs are in the shaker. So, speaking about the quail eggs. So, if you're new to the channel, you wonder what are quail eggs? What is the good stuff about them, right? Why would I prefer a quail egg over a chicken egg? So let's talk about that. We ship those fresh gems out to you in a couple of days. You got them. They stay fresh for at least 30 days, right? You're gonna see the late date when the eggs were laid. That date we put on the packaging, so you know exactly when we pick those eggs from our quail. Gonna show you later a little how we keep our quail. We are very responsible with them. The quail are around that size of a bird, so that's why their egg is a little smaller, right? If you want to compare that. So you usually use like 2 or 3 quail eggs to substitute for 1 chicken egg. And the cool thing about quail eggs, Hazel, you're back. You want to tell the people a bit about the quail egg? So the good thing about it is it's not just for your pets, right? It's good for your health too. It gives you energy. I have quail eggs every day, and the energy level I get from it, it's awesome. The ratio of yolk to white is different in a quail egg compared to a chicken egg. There is more egg yolk in here, and a single quail egg has 1 gram of protein in there, right? So 1/14 of the egg is protein alone. It has 10% of your daily value of vitamin B12, a single egg. 10% of B12. That's pretty awesome. It has riboflavin in there. It has folate in there. It has zinc in there. It has antioxidants in there. That's great for your skin. My skin. I was a little stressed lately, shipping so much quail eggs out. Gets you stressed sometimes, especially on Monday mornings. The post lady is like, "What? You bring again an entire truckload of eggs?" Yeah, but it really helps with your health. If you click on the product below or check it out on our Amazon store, you will see all the good things in there, and they are the freshest eggs you can find around. Because if you go to the supermarket, those eggs in the supermarket are old compared to our eggs, because we pick them and we ship them, and in a couple of days you have them, right? And really, really good nutritional value. There's some people out there who are allergic to chicken eggs. One of our farmers in Texas, actually, he started with quail eggs because his wife is allergic to chicken eggs, and she checked with her doctor. Actually, she's a nurse herself, but she still checked with her doctor. She tried out quail eggs. Perfect for her. She has no reaction whatsoever. She can eat quail eggs, but she cannot eat chicken eggs. So in case you're allergic to chicken eggs, check with your doctor or nutritionist. Maybe quail eggs is a solution. Check it out. I can't give you medical advice, but I know that from a friend of mine, it works for them. Maybe it works for you. So we ship out those fresh quail eggs. They are not older than 72 hours, right? In regards to the hatching eggs, so if you actually think about having your own eggs, they are only 48 hours. And I'll talk to that in a second. You have seen maybe this lovely cup here. We just launched it recently because I couldn't find them online anywhere. And they have been so, you guys made them so well here selling on Amazon. Thanks for buying them. So I have to package some more. I just printed some more. I 3D print them here in Jersey. So it's made in the US as well. I put them in a lovely packaging, a little box like that. They come in 4s. We have either 4 white ones. We have the 4 black ones. If you click below, you can see the color variations. Or we have also the blue ones. And they are either to display your favorite egg, because if you're into quail yourself, you will find out that the eggs all look like unique, right? And sometimes you have eggs that look like a space planet, or you have your lovely celadon egg, which is like a bluish one, like we used here for making an earring. So all kinds of great colors, especially the bluish looks really cool here in the black version, as you can see. The camera doesn't really catch it how nice it looks. But anyway, so those quail egg holders, we made them because we couldn't find them. We didn't want to import them from somewhere. So here you are. A whole bunch is ready again for you guys. So keep ordering them. Thanks again. We try to keep the price low, but shipping costs money too. And they're awesome. I would not recommend to put them in the dishwasher because they're small. You might not find them anymore, and I don't want that anything, you know, that they kind of clog something in your dishwasher. So just hand wash them. It's better. Just rinse them off if they get dirty. If you're such a messy eater, I mean, I like that sometimes. You know, I boil the egg for a minute, cut it open with the scissors, and then I just spoon it out. If I do some meaty stuff, I like to use it as a dip, just the yolk. So sometimes at the dinner table you can present it like that, cut it open, just put the white out, leave the yolk in there, dip your meat in there. Getting hungry talking about it. So great little product we have here for you as well. Now let's get to the hatching eggs. I mentioned it already 2 times, I say it a third time. We never ship out old eggs, right? Because we have other uses for them. Because some people think after 5 days that this quail egg kind of decides, no, I won't hatch anymore, there's no more bird coming out. That's wrong. Science says that quail eggs, they stay viable. You can hatch a bird out of it, and even after 10 days you can do that, right? But science says after 10 days, and I have experienced that myself, I tested that over the years now. Every once in a while a customer gives us a wrong address and those eggs get shipped back. And we're gonna talk about some of those eggs today. We have some sample here actually, where eggs got shipped back to us because the customer gave us a wrong address. So I hatched eggs which were 14 days old, right? But we want to give you the best chance that you get many chicks out of the eggs. So that's why we ship them out not older than 2 days. This way, even with the transit time from our farm to your doorstep, there's still plenty of time to put them in the incubator. In the incubator, they chill out there at 99.5 Fahrenheit and about 50% humidity at the start. And then they start hatching, right? And quail eggs, you typically, depending what equipment you got, hatch between days 16 to 22. 16 I say because of professional equipment, like from Hatching Time, for example. Their incubators, day 16 they start hatching until day 18, and then the hatch is over. If you use the styrofoam incubators, the babies hatch around day 18, sometimes day 20, and so it takes a little longer in those. But we want to give you the best chances. So if I get an email from a customer or a message here, after 5 days, oh, they might not be viable anymore, guys, take it easy. That egg doesn't decide to, oh, I'm now 7 days old, I won't hatch anymore. That's not how nature works, right? Little disclaimer in case kids are watching, please do not order them if you don't have permissions of your parents, because some people order them also for their animals and things like that as a treat. For food safety reasons, and because they're fresh eggs, we can't take returns on them, right? Makes sense. So kids, ask always your parents, just in case. You never know who's watching, right? This time, you should be in bed. No? Maybe not. If you're on the West Coast, not. Anyway, by the way, if you have questions about quail, pop them in the chat down below. I am happy to answer them. But let's talk a little bit more about those lovely gems. So I always like to show my first quail I hatched. So that's how they look like in your little in your hands. Compared to my wedding ring there, you see how little the quail is. I have this little figurine here because I don't want to have quail flying around here in the office. But they're really about that size. Yeah, think about it. I mean, until they hatch, they are in the quail egg here, right? So they're really, really, really small animals, but they grow very quickly. And that's the cool thing about the quail, right? A lot of people start with quail this year, right? Because, and that's one of the reasons I started with quail was I don't want to rely on a supermarket who limits me how many eggs I can buy. Happened this year. I don't want to rely on the supply chain. Believe it or not, most quail eggs you can find in the supermarkets come from Canada. I look around here in the stores and I look at the label. Why do we have Canadian quail eggs in the stores? I don't know. Why do they produce it cheaper? Do they get substitutes? I have no idea. Why are Canadian eggs in the supermarket? I don't know. You can have them in your backyard. You order the eggs, they hatch after 18 to 20 days, and they grow to a full-grown bird in just 6 to 8 weeks. And my quail, they start laying eggs after 6 weeks. Most of them. Not all of them, but a lot. And I'm surprised because typically people say, oh yeah, week 8 when they're fully grown. Sometimes can be after 10 weeks that they start laying eggs if they're a bit low. Check if you have some light on them, especially in the winter time. If they don't get 14 hours of light, the birds, they think like, oh, I got a break. Cool. So that's really, really important. Now let's watch a short video about the quail chicks because I just love sharing that as well with you guys. So let's dive into that. I bring up here, and then we get to the news section, and then I talk a little bit more about what's going on with the birdies. So here we have a video of the brooder, or how it looks like after a hatch. Let's have a look. They were right hatching there. It's hatch day on the farm. Friday. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, so many. Undique. Yeah, when we hatch here on the farm, we have some counting to do. I typically set 468 eggs in the CT180 incubator from hatching time, or Chimuka is the manufacturer of it.
7,
And
9,
these are the hatching baskets, those white ones.
2,
That's where the eggs go in the last 2
4.
days at lockdown.
Undique.
They're normally in a rack with egg turner.
36,
But
38,
when they hatch, we don't want the chicks to get injured or anything.
40,
You can see here. They have been
42,
tables,
44,
boxes there.
46,
You
48,
see already there's some color variations. You see that yellow one there?
50, 52,
So the yellow one,
and you are stuck on your little shell here.
it's gonna be
52,
later white.
53, and
So I had once a
here
customer.
we're gonna help this
Sending
little
me a message.
fella.
Oh my God,
What
you
is
sold
it
me
with
the
you?
wrong
You got a
eggs.
little stuck here,
The
huh?
old white,
Yeah.
so the old yellow, I wanted to have white quail.
What
English
happened to
white.
you? Come in here.
I want my money
Yeah.
back.
Okay, 52
Okay,
plus
if
another
they're still
one.
white
No, that
in
was
a
53,
couple of
54.
weeks, you get
Oh, cool.
So if they're still yellow in a couple of
There will
weeks,
be
you
a
get
few
your
more
money back.
hatching tomorrow.
So did you in their collar?
Pretty good hatch rate from what I can tell. Well, look for yourself. So those guys go now with their friends,
I got a
which
better
are waiting
basket.
down here from the other basket. Okay, guys. We go to the brooder straight away that we don't have any accidents here. Undique. So there's the brown wild type. There's some white.
Those guys are quick, aren't they? So yeah, I definitely have a little better system now in place. I just tried that out there with these blue baskets. When I count them, that didn't really work out. So I use now these bigger black ones. They definitely can't jump out of that. And then they have a safe travel to the brooder. This is how it looks like in the brooder here. So you see here, they just hatched. Some are maybe a day old, some are maybe 2 days old. They hatched the day before. It's important when you hatch quail, there's always going to be one who is first and there's always going to be one which is last. Important is that you don't open the incubator too early, because if an egg, they have a egg tooth on there, there where they cut basically the eggshell open from inside the egg, right? So if they start hatching and you open the incubator, that causes a drop in temperature and humidity, and that could shrink wrap the chick inside, and it would have a hard time to hatch then. So it's very important not to open the incubator too early. If the first one hatches, it's totally fine in there. There is a reason why there is an egg yolk in there. The yellow stuff in the egg, that's what the quail, or even a chicken, right? Any bird really, that's what they eat before they hatch out. So their belly is full. They are stuffed. They are full from the egg yolk in there. And so they don't need any water or any food for the first 48 hours. 24 hours for sure. 48 hours usually is fine too, but you keep monitoring them from the outside. Usually all incubators have some way of looking in there, and you see them. Sometimes they are lay around and play that. Then you see them running around again like crazy. So don't open up the incubator too early. You don't want to shrink wrap the other ones which are still trying to hatch. So that's maybe an important notice as well. So yeah, hatching quail is a very rewarding experience. So we do have this hatching program here on the farm as well, and so we supply you guys with those hatching eggs. We have a lot of teachers ordering from us, and I like to thank you personally, especially as an educator. If you do that in your classroom with your kids, with your students, to show them how life is created, how is a bird born. I think it helps children to learn the cycle of life. Maybe they appreciate their chicken nuggets the next time a little bit more, and they learn something, right? And for us here as farmers, it's important that people know what we do on the farm, that they appreciate what we're doing. And you can be a small scale farmer like me as well. You know, you can decide, okay, I want to have, I don't know, let's say I am a family of 4. We eat egg every day. I have, for example, 6 quail eggs for breakfast, right? So you do the calculation, how many hens you're gonna need, right? So if you have 6 eggs every day, so you definitely need 6 hens for that, right? And then your wife as well, and your kids maybe as well. So let's say it's gonna be 24 eggs a day you want. So you keep a flock of 24. If you order now the product below with 24 quail hatching eggs, you're not gonna get there. Why? Because it's known hatching eggs which are shipped, they don't have 100% hatch rate, right? It could be that a single egg can break in shipment. I mean, we do our best with packaging, and if eggs break, take pictures, send them to me. We make sure, you know, the package is insured, so there's no problem. But it's not just the breakage. We have actually lowest breakage around. It's below 1%. So we shipped, how much? 45,000 eggs this year. And customers tell us when something breaks. And we had about 450 eggs breaking out of 45,000. So it's a 1%. Amazon would take us down if we have a high breakage rate, because they don't like that. And we don't like it either. We want to make you happy. So breakage is not an issue, but 24 eggs will give you about maybe half, maybe more. It depends on your experience. It depends on, did the air sac in there detach in shipment or not? If they get really stressed in shipping, that can impact the hatch rate as well, right? In the winter time, we had customers who let them sit overnight in a freezing mailbox. If you order eggs, please be home. Check the delivery date based on the tracking number, right? You can always ask us for the tracking number. Then you know when the mailman brings those eggs. Don't let them sit out in a hot mailbox all day long, because that impacts the hatch rate. Or in the winter when they are freezing, hard to hatch something from frozen eggs, right? So that's just important. That impacts all the hatch rates, and therefore we don't give a guarantee. Not because we are not standing behind our product, but it's just a lot of new people out there. And if I buy eggs in a supermarket and I bake a cake at home and I leave the cake too long in the oven and it burns, I'm not going back to the supermarket to ask for new eggs either, right? So therefore we don't have a hatch rate guarantee, because we would have to pay for shipping again, for the egg cartons, for the shipping material, all that stuff. And it costs money to produce those eggs. So we say usually it's known you can get 50% hatch rate. The best I had with shipped eggs ever was 85%. Personally, when I hatched them. We hear from our customers, we put a little card in there in every shipment. It's the hatch rate report. So you can tell us, and you can see it on a map, how are the hatch rates, right? And typically, you see anything from 30 to 80 to 50. You can have 0. If your incubator has too low temperature, nothing will hatch. Therefore, put the secondary thermostat, and maybe also something to measure the humidity if your incubator doesn't do that. Put that in there on the egg level, and then you can double check if your incubator, it needs to be calibrated, right? But then you can check, is your incubator holding the temperature, or does it go up and down like crazy? Because that could cause issues as well. That's just important things. But we try to give you the best start, and and then the rest is a little bit of luck, a little bit of nature doing its thing, right? And experience too, of course. So that's just how things are. Speaking of how things are, like, I want to do a bit education today about the Georgia giant quail before I get to the full news section, what happened on the quail farm. But this is part of the news. So we got those eggs. We shipped them out of a farm in Texas. I was hiding the address here and everything, so you don't see that here at all. But maybe you see here it says return to sender. Vacant, unable to forward, right? Oh, make sure you put your right address in there. So those eggs came back. So we shipped them from Texas to Las Vegas, and then it came from Las Vegas to New Jersey. That speaks for our packaging. They traveled twice the distance they should have, and not a single egg broken. They're all perfect. And those are the Georgia giant quail eggs. And this customer left us a 1-star review because the eggs are smaller than my normal quail egg. Yes, they are, because they are Georgia giant quail eggs. And I didn't came up with the name Georgia giant, right? Just they are native birds to the state of Georgia here in the United States, Atlanta, right? And they have amongst the smallest eggs in the quail world, but they are the biggest birds. I didn't make that up. So we got a big complaint that the eggs are so small. I'm sorry, we have actually pictures of exactly a picture like that on our product listing, right? And the description and everything. So we still have that review there. Or maybe the customer is watching now, so maybe if you take it down, that would be nice, because we didn't do anything wrong here on our quail farm. This is how they come. They are white, they are smaller than quail eggs, but the bird will be much bigger. So let's talk about the bird. And maybe that's a good sample. Don't always trust reviews online. They could be from another person who doesn't like me. I don't know. No, but could be from somebody who just doesn't know what they're talking about. So let's do some education about it. The Georgia giant bobwhite quail, right? They are larger and heavier than the northern bobwhite. So they can actually weigh up to a pound when they're an adult. Their head markings actually look similar to this figurine here, and they're bigger than this little statue. They actually, the Georgia giants, they get really, yeah, I would say about that size. Just hatch them out, you will find out. So if you're looking after meat, because quail meat is great, you saw it earlier on Hazel. She loves it. If you're thinking about raw feeding your dogs, or if you're like a nice good portion of quail yourself every once in a while, some bacon wrapped around it, just saying, it's good food too. For the meat production, many people prefer the Georgia giant bobwhite, right? Georgia giant quail, Georgia giant bobwhite quail. There's different names for the same thing. Confusing, I know. But the one thing which is not confusing is, yes, the eggs are smaller, they are white, they don't have the speckles on them, but they are equally nutritious. You can eat their eggs, of course. They are laying them well as well, like the other quail. Actually, they can lay a little more than normal quail in regards to the egg production, if you keep them in perfect conditions for that, right? You definitely see the size is the most notable difference of them. They are definitely, a lot of people go after the jumbo quail if they want meat, or they think they get bigger eggs, but just because the bird is bigger, it doesn't mean that the eggs get bigger. And the Georgia giant is good proof of that, right? And yeah, they are just awesome birds to keep as well. People like to hunt them too. And as you can see, even if the postal service sends them back, they're still okay. So our packaging is pretty good. Since they traveled, let me see, they traveled now over 2 weeks, where we shipped them out 9th of April. I might pop them in the incubator today. They are less than 4 weeks old, 3 weeks old, something like that. They might still hatch some. I'll try it out. Why not? I've done that recently with button quail eggs. I got some sent from another farm. I wanted to check them out, on my farm as well. They are also small birds. They're small, really small eggs. The buttons are like around that size, right? Really small compared to a Georgia Giant, right? And I hatched them out, and we got some return as well because the address was not right. They traveled over 2 weeks, and I had a 30% hatch rate. Just saying. So yeah, those eggs are doing well. I will let you know if they had. Should I? I think I popped them in the incubator. Ah, why not? Why not? Let's see. A little experiment. Experiment. That was not that pun was intended or not. I don't know. I spoke about the button quail eggs. The button, they would be about that size. They are small birds. Let me show you some pictures of the buttons. They are the cutest. Where are the buttons I hatched earlier this year? Let's take a look. Why they are called button quail eggs? I have no idea, but maybe their size is about the size of a button. As you can see here, this is that a dime or 5 cents? I think it's 5 cents. Really small birds when they're born, and also when they get older, they don't get much bigger than my fist here. So they lay the tinier eggs. Some people like that, especially if they want to feed the eggs to their reptiles. There's a lot of egg eating snakes. It's Sunday evening. I have a sunburn. Forgive me. So yeah, the egg eating snakes like button quail eggs, and the quail maybe too. Yeah, my snake Jackson. He's the assistant to the chief treat tester. He likes every once in a while a quail egg. He likes quail eggs or quail meat a lot too. Very nutritious. A lot of people feed their snakes like rats or mice. Yeah, why not? But birds is natural prey of snakes as well, right? Just saying. But let's talk about that when we look at the lovely cute button quail video here. Let's have a look. My wife was checking out our first one we hatched here on the farm. We shipped them from 3 farms in the US. One in Florida, one in Texas, and one in Louisiana. So let's have a look.
Look at the first baby button quail. They're so little. Oh my gosh. He's so tiny. Oh! And he wants to run away.
They are fast.
So small.
They are definitely smaller when they are born than the normal quail. Are very, very cute birds. Very cute birds. Okay, since I'm on this section, on this view now, let's have a look what else happened this week at the quail farm. We're launching a few new products, so I can't tell too much about them. But in other news, my wife and I, after the garage sale yesterday, we treated ourselves. We went to a local restaurant here in Jersey, sushi restaurant, Ryushin. Really, really good here around Bridgewater, New Jersey. Check it out. So we had some sea urchin with quail egg in here. And I looked at the quail egg and I was like, doesn't look like my quail eggs because we feed our quail really good food and the yolk is much more orange, much more more saturated kind of look. It's hard to tell. You see, we feed something different to the quail. Healthy stuff, non-GMO, right? Organic food. That's what our quail get, because the quail eventually will be food for your dog, for your cat. They will be food for me, for my dog. I want that as own. You eat what you eat, right? Or you are what you eat. What do they say? Anyway, I make sure I give proper food to my quail, and that is reflected in the yolk, in the appearance of the bird. They need to be healthy. They need to be happy. That's really, really important things to me. So when I looked at those quail eggs, yeah, it looks nice, but sorry, I think I have to supply them with my eggs because they look nicer, much brighter color. But it was still good. Here's some fish eggs next to it. It was a nice sushi experience. We really loved that restaurant. Really, really good. Hazel had a visitor over on Saturday. Her boyfriend. Hazel, I'm talking about your boyfriend. Anyway, she's in full action here with Archie. He's also a kind of a poodle. She's a labradoodle, so a lab and poodle, 75% poodle. and he's also a little bit poodle. I forgot what else he is. I have to ask. But Archie likes to come over every once in a while for a little play until Hazel gets a bit too much. She unfortunately is not too friendly with other dogs, especially if they come near me. And then the play date was then interrupted. But she's a good girl otherwise. But yeah, she doesn't like other dogs much. She's a people's dog. Is your dog like that as well? I wonder. Some dogs are like that, right? But they definitely had fun. This is a bit older picture, but I like some spam. That reminds me about an Austrian dish, what we have. And I like to put on the spam a little quail egg on top, plenty of ketchup. That's my snack on a Monday when it needs to go quick. Lunchtime, because I'm too busy packaging up eggs for you guys. So that's good food. The incubator recently got cleaned, so I have to look in my spreadsheet, but I think we have some hatching in 2 weeks. I said that recently. I keep you guys posted. When the new guys hatch, I make a little video, keep you posted. So I have here the hatching time incubator from the manufacturer Chimuka. Really great product. So it fits 180 chicken eggs or 463 quail eggs. And I just put it out there. I blow it out with some pressured air, just wipe it down with some disinfectant wipes, let it dry, boom, ready for the next go. You can open both doors. I really love that about them. So yeah, check them out. I actually, my wife here mounted some of this. I had this foil at home, and then you can write on it as well with a dry erase marker. I like to do that. I have a spreadsheet, but when I walk by there, and I walk by there every day a few times, I have the dates on it, just in case if I don't look at the spreadsheet, I see it on the incubator and I know everything is fine. When do I need to prep? When do I need to do the lockdown? And when is the hatch expected, right? This thing works like clockwork. It has a water tank on top. I put distilled water in there. It has a humidifier. It vaporizes the water. That's on the other side of it. You don't see it here. And the egg turners. I just love that stuff. It's set and forget. You know, really, if I wouldn't set a reminder, I would just hear it then later when I pass by there that, oh, they're hatching. No maintenance, really. I love that stuff. I didn't get to split that firewood, so hopefully I get to that next week. Then I'll show you guys what's happening there in the garden. And let's have a look at the little quail video from the past, just to show you guys how happy the quail here on the farm. As they are a game bird, they would fly off if I would let them free range. That's why they have to be in state-of-the-art equipment, that they don't get hurt, that they are happy, that they don't poop on the eggs, that they just have water and food all the time. So this is how it looks like. Isn't she cute? Let's play that video.
Hi. Are you laying these nice blue eggs? It's none of you guys, is it? No. Who's curious?
And you see the different color variations now as well of quail. That's pretty, it's a cool hobby. If you're watching and you're thinking about a new hobby with benefits as in fresh quail eggs, quail are great to get into. They come in all shades and colors. Black quail, white quail, Italian, the Georgia giant you heard a lot about, the button quail. You have, oh my god, I feel like in this movie Forrest Gump where the guy talks about the shrimp. Just check it out, click on the product below, you see all the color variations we have on offer. Or just get our color mix, then there's a little bit of everything in there. And it's a nice surprise when you hatch them out. Now let's talk a little bit about another product. When I do maintenance or if I have birds going out for, you know, people pick them up at the farm, or if you go to a bird swap, I show you now a cool box from a very well-known breeder. She uses it herself and sells them, and she's part of the network, and that's why I present it here. This is a live bird shipping box, but I also use it when the birds' cages need to be washed. And this one is approved by the US Postal Service. You see there is a membrane in here, and there is some air holes, and you can pop some extra holes out if you like. Especially now in the summer, you want to make sure the ventilation is good. So if you are into quail already, or also, you know, chicken chicks or things like that, and the smaller birds fit nicely in here. They can not stick out their little wings or feet. They stay very safe in there. You can, you know, attach water in there or a cucumber that they can stay hydrated. I do that when I clean the cages. I don't show you then how it looks afterwards. Once the quail have been here, I show you a fresh one because quail poop a lot. But this is how it looks like, and it folds up nicely. If you have to transport them to a poultry swap, or, you know, to a customer who wanted to buy some quail eggs or quail chicks, it folds up nicely. You can tape it up if need be. Approved by the Postal Service, so you can get them here in a pack of 10 as well. Great quality, very easy to fold up. There's instructions on the packaging actually how you fold it up, and it's approved by the Postal Service, which is the only one who is shipping live birds, for example. Great boxes to keep the birds safe, either when you do maintenance or if you have to move them around. We also have the egg shippers here as well in our store. Those are for chicken eggs, I believe, what I'm showing you there down below. Great as well if you decide to ship chicken eggs, for example. We have all kinds of animals. We have, you know, on our farms, we have in our network over 20 dogs, I believe, a lot of cats. We have farmers with emus, we have farmers with pigs, we have farmers with rabbits as well. We grow our own mealworms to feed them to the quail as extra protein, for example. So a lot of stuff happening on our farm and in our network. Talking about the network, let's take a quick look. And yeah, each time I look at the map, I forget about Missouri. I really have to put that pin there, right? But so that's the newest one in our network. So that's where we are right now. Very strongly on the west coast, down south, out west a bit, and we are growing network. And the reason why we do that is that the eggs, depending on availability, right? That we, number one, always have availability for you, because if there is a predator issue on the farm, or the quail decided overnight that they don't want to lay eggs, or if you need any kind of special breed, that we can always ship them to you. And we try to choose the closest farm to your address, that they don't travel too long. If you hatch them out, that they are doing well, right, in regards to the hatch rates. So that's our little network here, ever growing. I started off as a single farm selling it online, and I had an injury. I had an accident with my ride-on lawnmower, and it really damaged my back, and my doctor told me you're not allowed to lift those heavy 50-pound feed bags. And so I had to pause for a while, and that's kind of how the network started. A gentleman down in Louisiana said, hey, I can help you. And a gentleman in New York said, hey, I can help you. And here we are now, small little farms. The most of birds we have on the farm is, I think, around 5,000 or so in one single farm. Other farms we have like 400 here, 500 there, 1,000 there. So it's really small scale farms. With your order, you support small family farms here in the US. We ship all those lovely products we make for you out fresh every day. And yeah, I'm very proud about that I have the pleasure to work with so many nice and talented people with all the lovely accents from down south to up north. And talented people who also, for example, you see them in our store, have a real good talent for crafting, such as the necklace, for example, or the earrings, what we make out of the quail eggs as well. So check it out in our store. Really cool gift for somebody. It's definitely a conversation starter at any party. Yeah, that's a little bit from our selection. I try to bring every week something new in. The Georgia Giant were not new, but a new topic, I guess. If you follow around, please leave a like or follow, right? That helps us here, and you get notified when we are online next. I aim at Friday next week, 7:30 Eastern, to be back with you guys, talk about quail. If you have any questions in the meantime, just leave it there below. You can click on it and get in touch with me. I would love it if you order one of our products. But other than that, it's getting late here. I get ready for the next week. I hope you too. I thank you guys for watching. I wish you a good start into the week, and think about your breakfast next week. Maybe you want to have next weekend some lovely fresh quail eggs for your breakfast, so get them from us. Thanks for watching. My name is Christian with the Undique Network, and I tune out here. I say, yeah, have a good time. Till next time.